नमस्ते बिटिया, हमेशा खुश रहो। आई एम JVN डॉक्टर सुमन शेखावत, डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ काय चिकित्सा, फैकल्टी ऑफ आयुर्वेदिक साइंस, ज्योति विद्यापीठ विमेंस यूनिवर्सिटी जयपुर. Today we will discuss on examination of cardiovascular system. We are talking about some kind of important characteristic sign and symptoms in cardiovascular system. In the series of examination of cardiovascular system, next is fatigue. Exertional fatigue is an important symptom of heart failure and is particularly troublesome towards the end of the day. Its etiology is complex, but it is caused partly by deconditioning and muscular atrophy. Next is palpitation. Awareness of the heartbeat is common during exertional and heightened emotions. Under the circumstances, it may be indicative of an abnormal cardiac rhythm. A description of the rate and rhythm of the palpitation is essential, as are exhibiting behavior such as exercise or caffeine intake. Extrasystole are common but rarely signify important heart disease. They are usually experienced as missed or dropped beat. The forceful beat that follow may also be noticed. Rapid irregular palpitation is typical of atrial fibrillation. Rapid regular palpitation of abrupt onset occurs in atrial, junctional, and ventricular tachyarrhythmias. Dizziness and syncope. Cardiovascular disorder produce dizziness and syncope by transient hypotension resulting in abrupt cerebral hypoperfusion. For the reasons, patients who experience cardiac syncope usually describe after brief lightheadedness or no warning symptom at all prior to their syncopal attack. Recovery is usually rapid, unlike with other common causes of syncope. Example: stroke, epilepsy, and overdose. Next is postural hypotension. Syncope on standing upright reflect inadequate baroreceptor mediated vasoconstriction. It is common in the elderly, in whom it is frequently compounded by medication. Abrupt reductions in blood pressure and cerebral perfusion cause the patient to fall to the ground, whereupon the condition corrects itself. Vasovagal syncope. Vasovagal syncope, this is caused by autonomic overactivity, usually provoked by emotional or painful stimuli, less commonly by coughing or micturition. Cough syncope and micturition syncope. Only rarely are syncopal attacks so frequent as to be significantly disabling. Next is carotid sinus hypersensitivity, exacerbated vagal discharge following external stimulation of the carotid sinus. Example: from shaving, shaving or a tight shirt collar causes reflex vasodilation and slowing of the pulse. These may combine to reduce blood pressure and cerebral perfusion in some elderly patients, causing loss of consciousness. Valvular obstruction. Fixed valvular obstruction in aortic stenosis may prevent a normal rise in cardiac output during exertion, such that the psychological and vasodilatation occurs in exercising muscles, producing an abrupt reduction in blood pressure or cerebral perfusion, resulting in syncope. Vasodilator therapy may cause syncope by a similar mechanism. Intermittent obstruction of the mitral valve by left atrial tumors, usually myxoma or thrombus, may also cause syncopal episodes. Next is stroke Adams attack. These are caused by self-limiting episodes of a systole or rapid tachyarrhythmias, including ventricular fibrillation. The loss of cardiac output causes syncope and striking pallor. Following restoration of normal rhythm, recovery is rapid and associated with flushing of the skin as flow through the dilated cutaneous bed is re-established. The cardiac examination, a methodical approach is recommended, starting with inspection of the patient and preceding the examination of the radial pulse. Measurement of heart rate and blood pressure, examination of the neck, carotid pulse, jugular venous pulse, and palpation of the anterior chest wall, auscultation of the heart, percussion and auscultation of the lung base, and finally examination of the peripheral pulses and auscultation for carotid and femoral arterial route. Routine for the cardiovascular system examination: hand wash, introduce yourself to patient, recline patient at 45 degree, observe general appearance, comfortable breathlessness, pale, inspect the hand for clubbing, splinters, hemorrhage, nicotine staining, examine the radial pulse for symmetry, rate and rhythm, character collapsing, measure the blood pressure, assess the height and waveform of the JVP. Inspection of the patient, chest wall deformities such as pectus excavatum should be noted as these may compress the heart and displace the apex, giving a spurious impression of cardiac enlargement. The presence of a median sternotomy scar usually indicate previous coronary artery bypass graft CABG or cardiac valve surgery. Anemia. Anemia may exhibit angina and heart failure. Pallor of the mucous membrane is a useful but sometimes misleading physical sign, and the diagnosis requires laboratory measurement of the hemoglobin concentration. Cyanosis is a blue discoloration of the skin and mucous membrane caused by increased concentration of reduced hemoglobin in the superficial blood vessels. Peripheral cyanosis may result when cutaneous vasoconstriction slow the blood flow and increase oxygen extraction in the skin and the lips, clubbing of the finger and toes. In congenital cyanotic heart disease, clubbing is not present at birth but develop during infancy may becomes very marked. Infective endocarditis is the only cardiac cause of clubbing. Other cutaneous and ocular sign of the infective endocarditis. Other signs for infective endocarditis are caused by immune complex deposition in the capillary circulation. A vasculitis rash is common, as are splinter hemorrhages in the nail bed, although these are very non-specific findings. Coldness of the extremities in patient hospitalization with severe heart failure. Coldness of the extremity is an important sign of reduced cardiac output. It is caused by reflex vasoconstriction of the cutaneous bed. Pyrexia. Infective endocarditis is invariably associated with pyrexia, which may be low grade or swinging. A nature of paravalvular abscess develops. Pyrexia also occurs for the first 3 days after myocardial infarction. Edema. Subcutaneous edema that pits on digital pressure is a cardinal feature for congestive heart failure. Reduced sodium delivery to the nephron. This is caused by reduced glomerular filtration due to constriction of the preglomerular arterioles in response to sympathetic activation and angiotensin II production. Increased sodium reabsorption from the nephron. This is the most important mechanism. It occurs particularly in the proximal tubule early in heart failure, but as failure was, renin-angiotensin activation stimulates aldosterone release, which increase sodium reabsorption in the distal nephron. Salt and water retention depends plasma volume and increase the capillary hydrostatic pressure. Hydrostatic force driving fluid out of the capillary, exceeding the osmotic force reabsorbing it. So the fluid accumulate in the interstitial space. The effect of gravity on capillary hydrostatic pressure ensure the edema is most prominent around the ankles in the ambulant patient and over the sacrum in the bedridden patient. In advanced heart failure, edema may involve the leg, genitalia and trunk. Transudation into the peritoneal cavity, ascites, the pleural and pericardial space may also occur. Thank you. This session is powered by 2.0 digital version, Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University, Jaipur. I hope you all are satisfied with this session. If you feel any kind of problem with this session, please mention it in comment box. I will resolve it soon. Thank you.